And I want to come to you today with a reminder, probably more than one, that the business that you're here to build, it's not premised on, oh my gosh, listen to this, thank you, Lord. It is not premised on you being a mediocre version of everybody who is not you. Here's what I mean by that. You have a particular type of a thing that is meant to be unleashed to the world. Now, I'm not talking to everyone. You might not have a particular type of thing that's meant to be unleashed to the world. You should maybe keep your thing to yourself. But no, if you're here and you've found your way into my space, there's a very reasonable chance you're a leader. Yes, you can say yes. You can send a love heart. Leader, waymaker, revolutionary. You are a messenger. You came here to pour forth. It is what it is. There might be multiple other ways that you make money in your lifetime. You can have multiple streams of income, investments, businesses even. Exactly right, I do, says Sophia. You can have all of that, but one part of what you do, if you're this type of a person, amongst all of it, somewhere in there, you are meant to be pouring forth a thing. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be on the internet. It could be in your local community. It could be at your children. It could be at your neighbors. It could be at your dog. It could be in your church. It could be that you're running meetups in school halls. I don't know. But we live in an internet age. Hi, new information. We live in an age and an era where we get to transport something all around the world supernaturally and physically, literally, through Instagram or wherever, in a way that's just never occurred before. And I saw someone post the other day, like, oh, it's speeding up and the amount of new information that's coming out, you know, every second is more than like an entire lifetime, or I don't know, whatever the point was that was trying to be made. It was basically about, you got to more than ever make sure that you stand out because there's so many people online and everything's getting faster and people aren't responding to what they used to. I don't know. You know what I think whenever I see these kind of posts, which are obviously formulated in order to gradually lead into whatever sale at the end that is about how to be a better marketer, I just think, thank goodness I'm not, like, I might have some areas where I have blind spots in my life, for sure, I'm sure. But thank goodness, one thing I do know about myself, and I suspect you know this about yourself as well, is that I have that, oh, you got to listen to this. I have that stuff that can't be hacked, that comes out of me. I have something that comes out of me when I let it, which admittedly I don't always do. And sometimes I just really keep it to myself and don't pour it out at you. But I have that something that when I let it come through me, who knows it's anointed? And I'm not just saying that about me, but some of you do know that about me. But I'm talking about a particular type of a person, yeah? So I'm talking about you, if this is for you. And if you're here, then it's more than likely for you. It's not random that you ended up here. If you're not pouring it forth in a big way, using whatever platforms, channels, etc., that you are led to use, not using whatever's trending or what you quote unquote should be using, because there's endless things to choose from. What are you led to use? Which social media platforms, which ways of marketing, etc. If you're just pouring it out at your kids, your dog, your friends, well, firstly, they're probably having to put up with a lot more of your speak than what they really should have to. But secondly, there's a bottling up that's occurring. I want to speak to you today just for a few moments about the bottling up that occurs as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as a creator, as a waymaker, as a revolutionary, as one of the ones who is different, even in a room full of so-called different ones. The bottling up that occurs when you try to do business through a lens of, this is how to do business, this is how to do my social media, this is how to shop, this is how to get my message out. Now, what is this question? Let's see if I'm going to answer it. I often feel that my purpose revolves around my motherhood, and yet over the years, no matter how much time passes, I always come back to showing up as a leader in my coaching business being a priority. Do I have to choose or wait till my kids are older? I'd love if you can speak to this. That's a great question. I think a lot of people can relate to that question. I don't believe that we have to choose. I have a belief that it is easier. I started teaching this to clients years ago. Gosh, must be like at least 8 years ago. I remember first expressing this to a private client. It's easier to go straight to the top. Now, I don't mean the top like compared with somebody else, yeah? Like whatever that means. I mean to go to the fullness of the vision that is inside of you. It's easier to go all the way to the utmost of your dreams in each different area of your life simultaneously than what it is to try and address one area at a time, like in this era, I'm only going to be a mum, for example. Well, my belief is that would only be a smart move for the person for whom that was genuinely aligned, and there was no pull, no leaning, no calling, no desire, no inner nudge, no, guidance, spiritually, supernaturally, or otherwise, to express and pour forth a thing. And I know people like that. I know people who genuinely, alignedly, everything fell away and their season is parenting. And that's amazing. But if that's not you, that's not bad or wrong. And it doesn't mean that you're being less than, or that it would result in you being less a parent. I actually believe if we would try to segment parts of who we are and take out parts of our true identity because we think that we need to not do that until a different season, I think that would result in us being lesser than we're meant to be, or limited, or stuck, or stagnant, or restricted, or just like de-energized in our relationships, including our parenting relationships, but in any relationships, because it's easier to go to the fullness of who you are. This is true in business, it's true in how you create, it's true in how you pour forth, it's true in the fact of the matter that we do have these multiple parts of our identity. However, here's the but, yeah? In order for that to work, in order to go into the fullness of the vision that's inside of you and go, all right, I'm going to be the person who's simultaneously being a mum, taking care of my health and fitness, doing whatever I'm doing in the community, having some kind of a social life perhaps, getting some sleep for sure, like taking care of myself, and I'm going to build an empire. Like, okay, all right, Superwoman, here we go again. No. We don't need to go old school Superwoman. We don't need to go balls in the air all over the place. We don't need to go hustling into the wee hours or something like that. We've probably all had seasons of that at different times. It's not required. What is required though, and this brings me back to my original point for this live stream, is the only possible way that this could alignedly truly work, like really seeing business growth, financial growth, but from purpose, from flow, it feels right, it's aligned, it's fun, it's creative. Oh my gosh, so many conditions, and then on top of it, we're meant to be like the mum that we're meant to be and all this. You know what? I really didn't like that Barbie movie at all, but I did like that speech in the middle of it. Can't remember her name. What's the actress's name? That speech was pretty amazing. Like if anyone didn't see it, just search like the Barbie speech online. Didn't like the movie at all. Felt that it perpetuated a lot of nonsense that it shouldn't have been perpetuating. But I liked the speech. So if we're going to do all these different things and hold ourselves to these different ideas, and your soul knows, like your spirit actually knows, it's not true for me to shove that part of me down into a corner. It's not true. Is it true? Is it true within you that you should shove that part of you down into a corner or tell it to just press pause until 2030 or something? 2030 sounds like a made-up year. Are we even going to get to that year? No. The only way it could all possibly flow together is if you submit. Who likes that word? I love that word because it results in flow and freedom, and it should only be done appropriately and rightly. If you submit to going all in on the way that it's meant to be for you. So in business, this is what my original point was about with the title that I put for this live stream, which was go all in on the thing that you're trying to locate. What I meant by that is there's a part of you that it's actually meant to be about. For me, this has always been about my writing first and foremost, yeah? There's a part of you that you've always known it's meant to be about, or you suspect maybe. You may not feel like you do know, but I don't really believe that. Actually, I think the question is, but if you did know, then what would it be? And it's a bit that you low-key. And it might be a particular way that you express yourself. It might be a particular creative endeavor that you think about getting out into the world and you're kind of like half-hearted, or you don't have time, or you're not sure, or you feel insecure or whatever. It might be the way that you would pour forth on social media if you never heard of or saw all the rules of how Reels apparently has to look, or Instagram or whatever. And if nobody had ever told you and you were just given this platform, but it was an actual blank slate, and then you were like, ooh, creative things. What am I going to do with it? And then you just found something that you were going to do with it, and you never saw anyone else's ideas. Yeah. There's something that you low key, which is actually your genius, your secret sauce. It's the gateway. It's the through the looking glass, back of the wardrobe. It's the magic button, whatever you want to call it. It is a thing where, listen to me so much, especially those of you who are busy for whatever the reason, you're not only building a business here or seeking to build a business. You're parenting. You're looking after an aging parent or somebody. You're doing things in the community. Maybe you have a job and you're building a business. Or maybe you're just tired of feeling like you're running here, there, and everywhere as an entrepreneur, and you suspect that you are possibly attending to a whole bunch of stuff that is next level BS that you don't need to be attending to. If that's you, this is for you. Whatever it is, that is the thing that most speaks to you being you. If only you would let it free, and yet you're low-keying it, not having time for it, or dismissing it, or diminishing it, or like allowing yourself to believe that you're not good enough. That's your gateway. If you were to go all in on that. I'll give you an example. My business has literally, this particular business, my online business, which is my coaching business, has made tens of millions of dollars because a reasonable time ago, like well over a decade, like coming up to 2 decades, more than one, I made a decision to go all in on the thing that before that I was trying to low key. Well, I wasn't trying to low key it. It was more that I felt not good enough, not ready, didn't have enough ideas, questioned myself, who's going to want that, which was my writing. I just decided to start writing every day, no matter what. You know how I write every day, and I prolifically produce more content than probably anybody on the face of the internet, and that's not a throwaway statement. Anyone who knows me knows it's true. And how I just pour forth more than anyone could possibly keep up with and read on a daily basis. I don't even know how I do it. I used to burn through keyboards. Literally, like my keyboards would burn out because of how fast I type. They must have reinforced them. Apple must have improved their game. But there was a season there where I was burning through keyboards every 4 or 5 months, and they had no clue how this was happening. I was like, probably because I type 6,000 words an hour, like day in and day out for multiple hours. Anyway, they're better now. But I don't concern myself with what comes out. I don't concern myself with what I'm saying. I let the message be the message. I figured out, I understood, or I accepted and said yes and amen to the fact that I knew, since as long as I can remember, a lot of different things about myself, but one of those was that I'm born to write and that I need to express, and then when I write and pour forth a thing, that there's something that's just right in the world about that. I had no idea that's going to result in a business that makes tens of millions of dollars. Obviously, there's other things in place in that business, but it's all springboarded from the writing, and none of it would be here without the consistent writing. And so every single time, and really we could go beyond the writing, and it's the messaging, yeah? Because this is a form of that messaging as well. But it's literally just express the thing, do the thing, say the thing, without concerning yourself with, am I fitting into the current required containers in order to grow a business? How is this going to build my, income plan or my funnel or my strategy, or it's going to sell my thing today? I don't know. I presume that it will. I presume that some of you will come over to my current offer, which I'll tell you about now. This is how I do it. But some will, some won't. So what? I'm not trying to be strategic. I'm not sitting there going, okay, let me plan out a nice little script. Let's make some slides. I don't want to do that. And I don't also have time. I thought of this like 20 minutes ago. It's now 2:30, 20 minutes later, and I have to leave in like 5 minutes to pick my son up. So what, am I going to tell myself a story that if I only have 20 or 25 minutes, that I can't move the needle dramatically in my marketing, my messaging, and my sales that day, that I can't speak something that's fire and truth and flow and gold into somebody's life who needed to hear it, who may or may not then purchase my program and join me and work with me, but they got what they needed and I did what I needed to do. The end. End of story. Because I know that consistently, if I just do that day in and day out, or whatever it looks like day in and day out, guess what happens? Mountains are moved. Well, that's a faith thing, right? A thing is built. Just a little bit here and a little bit there. Pockets of time, saying yes, simplifying. I don't concern myself with all the different moving parts of business because I'm not interested, is the honest truth. And B, I really just don't think I should have to, and I have evidence and proof of that now at this point in my online journey, and after mentoring truly thousands and thousands of people around the world to help them to simplify and drop into actual flow and ease and make money from purpose by just being the leader now who they know they're meant to be and letting their particular thing out. So I have a lot of evidence. I've been in the online game for closer to 20 years than 10. Much closer. But before I had the evidence, what did I have? I had an inner knowing. I had an inner knowing that I shouldn't have to do certain things. And I was right. I want to say to you today that whatever your inner knowing is, please listen to this. Whatever your inner knowing is about what you're meant to do and the way it should just be easy, you are right. I'll tell you how it feels. It feels like I just feel like I shouldn't have to do that. I just wish I could just, what is that? Okay? I just wish I could just, I just want to be able to, what is it? Finish the sentence. Journal it. You don't need to tell me, but you can tell me if you want, yeah? Leave me a comment. Here's what's happening. You need to go all in on that. That needs to happen. Secondly, Become the Leader Now is my current live offer. I told you I'll tell you about it. The doors are going to close at the end of this week. So there's no urgency in this very moment. But the train has left the station. We just began 2 days ago. The pre-work, which is an activation, is ready for you. You're going to receive it in the welcome email as soon as you sign up. And our initial trainings are in the group, and our first live training is later this week. There are just days left until the doors close. The train has, and the train will have then fully departed. This is my last live course in a long while because God is directing me in other places and other ways. I'm still creating my courses and so on, but not live. This is my last live course in a very long while. It's 10 weeks with me. It's Become the Leader Now. It is what it sounds like. The page is at thekatrinaruthshow.com/become the leader now. And there's like a 1 hour video at the top of that page. You can watch the whole thing, you should. But from about 18 minutes on, it is like rocket fire. So this is Become the Leader Now is about taking a stand to fully be you. This is what I do. This is what I was born to do, is to reach in through what I say, how I teach, how I coach you. And this course is very much on the practicalities of online business and becoming that leader now and seeing the things come through that should. And of course, it is on the inner game, the energetics, the spiritual side of being who you're meant to be. It's all of it, because that's my area of genius. And it's a switch flick, because that is definitely what I'm here to do. It's about taking a stand for fully being you and realizing that you don't even have to bother about 99.99% of the stuff that whatever industry you're moving in and the online space in general is suggesting to you or strongly telling you that you have to bother with. And that what you do need to do, and this is what I'm here to coach you on, because you know this already. I don't tell you things that that you don't know. I don't coach or mentor in a way where I'm trying to convert somebody to my way of thinking. No, thank you. I'm the person who holds up a mirror to what you already know. And I can tell you that what you suspect is true. I've proved this in my own life. I've seen it in the lives of thousands of my clients. It's true in your life as well, whether or not you work with me on it, but it's true. The way you wish it could be is the way it should be. That's the way it's going to go forth and grow. But obviously there is a benefit to working with somebody who's already been there for years, who's produced tens of millions of dollars and continues to do so simply by showing up and letting a thing out. And yes, absolutely, having a bucket load of experience in online sales and marketing and in knowing how to go straight to the thing that actually moves the needle. Because it is about the flow, but it's also about there's a simple way to put stuff in place for your business to pay you over and over again so that you can shop in your genius and magic and not be bound to any ideas of what you think you need to do, because that is certainly not what you came on here to do, and that is certainly not what time, space, and energy should be put into. So this is 10 weeks with me to sort out your mindset, your focus, your entire inner game around being her, that version of you, and to appoint yourself fully as the leader who you know it's time to be. To where you've already been shown to go. So this is about the money streams, the business systems and practicalities, the unapologetic branding and vibe of it, and the whole entire, this is a great line, then she just woke up and ran the freaking thing, va-va-voom, you've been waiting on, and that the world's been waiting on. Plus it's gonna be a lot of fun. This is live. This is what's happening right now. If you have any questions about it, please DM me. I'm always happy to have a chat. If you're not sure if it's for you, I'm happy to talk it over with you. But there's a particular thing that will happen when you read this page. There'll be a knowing within you. And if you're supposed to be in, you're supposed to be in. It is at thekatrinaruthshow.com/become the leader now. I'm going to go. Why don't you go and say yes to whatever it is that you know is true for you? Whatever you suspect, you're definitely right.